Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Top Tier Talk. Another weekend of ups and downs. We're going to start with Arsenal. Last second winner against Luton, 4-3, and then some controversy yet again, potentially at the weekend with referees. So, Elliot, take it away.
Yeah, we lost 1-0 against Aston Villa. Havertz played well. I think he was our best player on the pitch. Rice played well, and Saliba played well, and that was it. So on to the next.
No comments about Luton, or are you just
What?
Oh, and Luton as well. To be fair, I could talk about Luton all day. I plan to forget the Aston Villa game. That was kind of a weird game to go through. But yeah, Luton. Oh my God, I was screaming in my room at about like 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't believe it. I was loving it. I mean, to be fair, we shouldn't be in that situation in the first place when we're down in the ditches against Luton away. I mean, Man City, to be fair to them, on this weekend nearly lost to them as well.
and they took a point
But
at Liverpool as well?
exactly, like it seems to be that although you hate them and they're your rivals, Kenilworth Road is quite of a dodgy place to go to at the moment, apparently, for the top six.
It's not a nice place to go, full stop.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, what can I say? Like as I say, we shouldn't be in that situation in the first place against Luton because I'm hoping, obviously, this is my like kind of hope that when they come to us at the Emirates, we'll probably like beat them 4-5-0. But you know, when we're down 3-2, Ross Barkley, I think David Raya had kind of a couple mistakes here and there against Luton as well, so that could have obviously been avoided. And like in my opinion, I think Declan Rice is a true 100 million pound player. I think he and maybe Bellingham are probably the only 100 mil players that are worth that cheddar cheese. I think that's what you kind of pay for, a clutch player, someone who can obviously boss about a position and it has like that future captain material, even though they've just got here. So yeah, so like, do you know what I mean? 3 points out of that was fantastic. As I say, I screamed my house down at 10 o'clock at night, getting told to be quiet. It's quite funny, but it's worth it when you're walking around thinking like got all the adrenaline in the world, thinking, yeah, here we go, we still got it. They obviously come to a whole lot of disappointment the following week because we can go about this, but refs can't do their job properly. So but
Is it all the
Just
refs' fault? Is all
I,
just the refs and the
oh
fact that
yeah,
you guys can't finish a game, you can't score. I mean, I have a couple questions for you actually. And who do you want to be your number one now? Or are you in the market for a new keeper in January?
why?
Huh?
Why would you be? Why would we be in the market for a number one in January?
Because both your keepers have made a lot of mistakes. I mean, Raya, do you think it was acceptable against Luton?
It doesn't
Letting
matter,
up Barkley? It
acceptable or
doesn't matter.
not. Mistakes happen. Are
Mistakes
you looking
happen.
for a new keeper then in January?
100%. We need a new keeper.
I think all four of us
100%.
are.
Yeah,
No,
for
I'm
sure.
pretty happy with my selection at the
So who's
moment.
your
That's kind
number
of
one
staying
then?
loyal to my. In my opinion, I want Ramsdale's number one. I think he's been through
Or
us
Ramsey?
since last year. I want Ramsdale's number one. I think obviously he's an
His
ADHD merchant, but
performance was worthy of him being number one for Arsenal Football Club.
well, we haven't seen him for a while. I think he might be
Or
playing
his
against
mindset.
PSV.
I mean, he said he loses concentration
That's
during
what I
the
said. He's
games.
ADHD merchant, but
So is that do you need that from your keeper, or do you want a fully focused goalkeeper?
yeah, well, come say, come sad. Do you know what I mean? I want like I want a lot of things in life, but sometimes you have to make do with what you got. And obviously, he still brings a lot to the team in goal. He's still like fantastic when he go.
Do you not think though you could
Theatrics.
find a do you not think you could find a keeper that focuses on the match for 90 minutes in the market that could probably do better than Ramsdale?
What about Raya? Why did we play him then?
Because you
He's
don't
not
want him
very good
number one.
either.
You
I
don't want
think
him number
it's. I don't just to play devil. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Raya is a loan. Is there a loan to buy, or is it just a
I
loan
think they
for a
were going to
Loads to
season?
buy.
buy.
I
Loads
think
to
I was
buy. I
go-
think it's
no, I
20,
was
25 mil.
which is fair enough, like price for him considering what has been paid for goalkeepers over recent years.
Kepa.
But well, just in general, whether it's Onana, whether it's obviously Sanchez or whoever, just obviously talking about like obviously you guys here. But surely as a manager's or just as an outlooker's point of view, if you were to surely you'd want to boost Ramsdale's confidence because he is your player. You may sign
Arteta's
Raya, but do you know what I
Arteta.
mean? Surely if you're going to keep him next year and send Raya back, surely you're going to want to help your own players and your own like your
Yeah.
actual squad. Then do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Instead
I
of
wholeheartedly agree. As I
forcing
say,
Raya into the team unless
as
he
I
is
say
going
to
to buy
Amir,
him.
I said to Amir, obviously, I think that Ramsdale's my number one. He just asked me there and then, and I still want him to be. Do you know what I mean, he's still a quality keeper. Obviously, keepers make mistakes all the time. For example, like Sanchez against us when he gave it to Rice, like Onana makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Do you know what I mean? You can go back and look at a goalkeeping mistake in the past. Everyone does it. We're not perfect. Do you know what I mean? So, but look, we've got two quality keepers. You can class like both of them as what like a good keeper, not like average, but good keepers. You can't have like what who's a good keeper. You can't have Neuer's. You can't have like Neuer in your team, obviously, because they're quite rare to come across.
Or Emi
But-
Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
True.
not.
Unless
And
unless you're
Leno.
Pedro.
Leno.
Leno's been brilliant as well. You had them, but anyways, you let
Yeah.
go. I had a question. So, Unai Emery was given around about 16 months at Arsenal before he was sacked. Arteta's about to hit 4 years at Arsenal. Do you think if Emery had been given the time that Arteta has, he could have done better with this Arsenal, with his Arsenal squad, with his version?
Maybe. You can never know, because at the time, obviously, both managers had to shovel up the shit that we had in the past. I still have the pack back up there, the 2018 team that we had, obviously, when Arteta first came in, and Emery had to obviously dig up what he had to kind of deal with. Yes, I'd say, like, if he was in charge of us still currently, he'd probably be dominating as well as Arteta. Both are strong managers, both are quality. And obviously, as you say, it's quite unfortunate we had to let go of Emery. But obviously, when you're trying to breed results, and then eventually when it comes to one manager, you think, right, we'll stick with him regardless of results because he's trying to build something here. They probably didn't think that with Emery. That's why they kind of tried to think of a quick fix.
I don't think Emery had the backing as well, Arsenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They tried to think of Emery as a quick fix to try and like build morale and try and
Didn't
get
happen
results as
quick
quick as they
enough.
possible, while thinking to the future. Arteta, for example, to like try and back him in.
Just as a,
Would
I
you
suppose,
say, I was one more thing, because Emery, he's won 4 European trophies. Do you think Arteta will ever surpass that in his career?
Never say never. You
That's a
never
no.
know.
I personally don't think. I think undeniably Emery's a better manager than Arteta, and
I think
you actually messed up.
if you ask me optimistically, yes, I'd love for him to go on and like win loads of Champions Leagues with Arsenal, but realistically, maybe equal, like 4. You never
You
know.
couldn't get 4 Champions League.
Because the 4 are
Wait,
Europa League,
he
by
said
the way. He's
European.
won
He
from
said
European,
European.
sorry.
Yeah.
4
European.
trophies.
to be
European
fair,
trophies.
because of Arteta's age, he should be in management a long time,
Yeah,
and
that's
he'll
what I'm
always
saying.
be
He
a
could
person
equal it.
that's around the top clubs, I suppose. I've got one final point, I suppose. I saw after the Luton game, it was something stupid like the 7th or 8th time you've scored in the 89th minute or later this year or this season or something. It almost goes back to the Bournemouth game last season when it was like you can play terribly, but as long as you don't lose, if you're finding a way to win the games and you know you're not beat, it's useful going into a title challenge. Obviously, I know it all went Pete Tong last season, but based on that, I'll ask you the question in December: will you win the Premier League this season? Yes or no?
There's no right answer to that.
I want your
I
opinion.
mean, there
yes
is.
or a no. I want a
Every
yes
answer
or a no.
today has been
I'm going to give you
amazing.
two answers.
Not what you
No.
want, what you predict. I said this last. I used to always say this. Not what you want, what you predict.
Will Arsenal win the Premier League 2023-2024? Elliot, yes or no?
Incoming TikTok. Yes.
Arsenal will win the Premier League.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm just so happy Aston Villa won, and the fact that Arteta's moaning more than Klopp as well shows how much I hate him more than Klopp as well.
Everyone watching, this guy's been waiting for this day for the past 4
I've
days.
never heard a manager moan so much at other things and not take accountability for his own team's poor performance. I mean, when was the last time, El, can you remember Odegaard having an actual good game for Arsenal?
Against you, probably.
Probably against you, yeah.
Really?
No, he had a great game. He's having great games. I don't know what you're on about.
He's having great games.
He's integral.
This is
He's been
absolutely-
offered this season.
He's been off.
Listen, I agree. There's only so much you can do when you blame refs all the time. Obviously, like when we played Aston Villa, we weren't on it completely. As I say, that's why I named Havertz, Rice, and Saliba as our kind of main points of focus, because they were probably the only players that actually put in a shift against Aston Villa. Havertz was actually class. He was putting in some good, like, dangerous attacks into them. He just kind of was off it a bit. He should have got a penalty, as I say. We could go into this whole referee kind of, he should have, but it is what it is. Saka was a bit off it. Martinelli didn't really offer much. You know, you're right, to be fair, Odegaard didn't really offer much as well. We're just kind of running about like a loose cannon, and then we kind of have no direction, because it kind of takes us towards like the 80th minute to go, right, let's switch on now, boys. We actually need to win this game, which I don't understand. Let's kind of lock and score it in the kind of first half. Which, for example, like we can trace it back to Wolves when we got 2 easy goals in the first like 20 minutes, and then we kind of didn't like seal it. Do you know what I mean? We kind of just let them hit us back, and then they scored one, and we kind of were on the back foot for the last 10 minutes.
So you need the opposition to score to actually go, hang on a minute.
Exactly. I don't understand that.
15 minutes to go.
We're missing that killer a kind of instinct to kind of go, let's just absolutely batter them. Regardless, like, do you know what I mean? If we went into that Wolves game 2-0 up in the first 20 minutes and went, we're not fucking stopping and continue, we could be 4-0 at half time. And then, do you know what I mean? 4-0 at half time is probably sending a message saying, fucking hell, boys, like, this is going to be a tough game to come back into from the Wolves perspective. Do you know what I mean? But instead, we're kind of trying to conserve it, which I don't understand why. Unless you've got a game midweek, which I don't think we did when we played Wolves.
But moving on from Elliot thinking Arsenal are going to win the league to Amir, I'll ask you, are Chelsea going to win another game this season? You've lost 2 games this week. Care to react?
If I was you, I would have rephrased that to our Chelsea in a relegation battle, which I would have answered yes.
I could have asked 15 different questions.
You are in a relegation battle.
Obviously, we'll do Manchester United, Chelsea first, so Chavez can obviously weigh in on this one. I thought it was absolutely one of the most worst performances I've ever seen in a Chelsea team play. Front to back, couldn't get out their own half. Strange decisions from the goalkeeper. I've never seen a goalkeeper with such less common sense than Sanchez. If you can't play out from the back, you hoot it up the field. That's what you do. You get the danger. Also, you lose possession. Who gives a shit? I don't care. We couldn't get out of our own half. We had McTominay look like Jude Bellingham, which he obviously isn't. Terrible performance. And he even saved a penalty as well. I've never seen a goalkeeper play so bad and save a penalty at the same time. Like, how is that possible? I mean, Chavez will get involved. You absolutely did us up the press. Couldn't play out from the back. I mean, we got lucky to get 1 goal back, and then from there, second half didn't offer anything to go forward because we scored just before half time, which would have been perfect. Which should have been perfect going into that team talk.
I think the difference between your team and our team, because the finishing was an issue on both sides. I mean, it's criminal. Some of the things Mudryk was doing.
Really, who's less shit? Your shit with.
Yeah, it's worse.
You're
I mean,
floor.
there's levels, and we are not any level, but they're a level below whatever we are.
We're 6 foot underneath your level. No, he's 100% right. I mean,
but the other difference was physicality in midfield. I mean, I'm quite shocked because now I got to see Caicedo and Enzo. They're supposed to be big boy midfielders, right? And Amrabat, who's been absolutely shambles since he's come in, actually looked physically so present. He looked he imposed himself, and I was surprised. I thought Caicedo would be more like that. He kind of just gets by games. He's very I don't know. He hasn't set anything.
I thought Caicedo was one of our better players, to be honest, on the game. I think he didn't put much wrong. I mean, from what he did, obviously with the tracking back is an issue. And you made a great point during the game. We were obviously talking, saying the Ten Hag stuff that we can't defend. And it's 100% right. The amount of goals we leak is absolutely terrible. It's disgusting, to be honest. And how would you guys say you would solve a team who can't defend? Well, if you have a team, you're a manager of a team.
Completely reform it.
Can't exactly. And how would you reform it? You have a team
with formation
or top down, maybe.
Formation
5 at the back.
5 at the back, perfect. And who did 5 at the back? Who was classed as having what was it? Haram ball and all that stuff for Chelsea.
Tuchel.
Oh,
Tuchel. Thank you.
Oh, I miss him.
Everyone's coming out the way Tuchel used to play, but he obviously saw something back then that these managers are not seeing now. You go back to 3 or 5 at the back. You stop putting Colwell as a left back because he can't defend. And we'll go on to Colwell, actually, because I'm coming for his head for that Everton game as well.
Can I just say something before you do?
Go for it.
I just wanted to say I was flicking through both games when both games were on Manchester United versus Chelsea, and then also there was Villa versus City on as well. I hate to say it, I put on the United-Chelsea game first, thinking, oh, it'll be a pretty decent game. Both teams wanted to try and get up for it, and I'll be honest, the quality for the 10 minutes I watched it weren't good. I switched over straight away.
Game. I was never bored in that game because it was so shit. It was amazing.
Yeah, same as Galatasaray.
That's what's weird though, because I switched over to Villa and City, and it was just quality football, and I was just like, oh, this is more entertaining.
Wow. Fair enough to you.
The comedic effect behind it.
I mean, as we said, I have another question for you guys. There's 2 teams in Europe right now that are surprising everyone that are top of their leagues. You guys know these teams. What are these 2 teams?
Villa and Girona.
No. Top of the leagues of their respective league.
Is it Girona? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Girona and what's the other one?
It's in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, not Frankfurt. Yeah, Leverkusen. That's it.
And what formation do them 2 teams play?
5 at the back.
Well, yeah,
5 at the back.
Yeah, based on 5 at the back.
Really? Because Girona score a lot of goals.
And Xhaka in that Leverkusen scored.
He is. Who gives a
He's
shit
been
about
brilliant.
Xhaka? This club at the moment, top to bottom, is fucked. I'm coming for Todd Bowley's head. Last year, I was a scapegoating a lot with Todd Bowley. I said, yeah, he's spending money, it's all right, but I'm coming for my man's head now. He has screwed this club since
Finally.
Tuchel left. I'm coming for him. The recruitment team has to go as well. I don't understand this obsession
Yeah, I
with
agree.
16-year-old Brazilian players. I don't like it. Why are we spending 40 million on 16-year-old boys? I don't get that shit. Get some players above 25 into this team, change your whole policy, and we'll see how we go from there. And obviously, another thing, after the Everton game, which we're going to come to now, Cole, absolutely disgusting not running to that ball and trying to close the shot. A lot of people now are Poch out. This is the first time I saw it. It switched in the United
first
game,
time.
but now I think the balance is more for Poch out, to be honest. And I'm
So
not
what? So what are you?
I'm not Poch out because I don't know who's out there who's better than Poch, who we can get. Who's free, who's better than Poch?
Ten
That we're
Hag
not
in a
spending
week.
20, 30
Ten
million.
Hag, you know.
I would take 10 probably.
I'll ask before you move on to the Everton game. I asked Chavez this question on a weekly for the last 2 months. How long do you think that Poch has got in the job, or how long would you give
Poch
Poch?
for me, it's got till the end of the season, but if we're in a relegation battle, we're fucked. He's out.
Who can I ask? Who's your
Actually,
next
I
three
don't think
fixtures?
I see Poch getting sacked in any
I
situation.
don't think so either. And we'll come on to his comments as well. There's a lot to come on
Who's your
to.
next fixtures? Who have you got next?
Sheffield,
Those.
We've got
Sheffield.
Sheffield
Decider.
United, and if we lose that,
Relegation
Nah,
six
yeah,
pointer.
that's a big
Relegation
game. That's
6-pointer.
that's a very big game for
that's
you.
a that's
It's a
relegation
shame, isn't
game.
it? Like, why does that mean Poch has to go? So other people out.
Yeah.
I don't get this whole. I hate how the manager is always the first in line.
Exactly. Sometimes you've got to look at the players. The defenders coming for their heads. I mean, but you've got to look at Poch in some aspects. His decision making sucks. I mean, Badia Shield should have started against United after a good performance. No, I forget who we played before. Play so many games. Forget that one. Reece James coming on a right back, one of the first right back performances I've ever seen. After Cucurella being the best defender, I don't get that just for the sake of it. Levi Colwill being our captain against United when we got Thiago Silva as well. I don't understand this whole an English speaker has to be the captain of this team. I don't get that shit.
As was your captain for years.
There's so much problem. Even Cole Palmer's been shit last 3 games. And then the Everton game was the icing on the cake. I knew we were going to lose that game. I knew it.
I just wanted to ask, based on like Reece James's kind of injury kind of track record, is it time to let him go, or are you going to keep?
If Real Madrid are forking up over 50 million for Reece James, I'm selling him.
Okay.
I'm selling him. If you can't play 3 games in a row,
I know it's so bad, isn't it? The guy made a paper mache, honestly.
Coming for? And watch, I bet if he goes to Real Madrid, they have probably the best
medics and fitness team.
Yeah, he'll stay fit. He'll be amazing.
The best right back in the world there. Watch that will happen. It's a thing.
You're buying back for 150 million in 4 years' time, like you'd be like Matic and stuff like that.
I mean, the scariest thing about how we praised Todd Bowley's policy of signing players on 8-year contracts. If it does end up being that the players are not actually that good, then you're stuck with these players for quite a long time.
I know,
pretty much the peak of their career. So you might actually be screwed.
Well, I don't want to see. And another thing that destroyed me today this morning was 2 things. Firstly, we saw that Chelsea nearly got Endrick before they withdrew. Probably the biggest player to come out of Brazil at the moment, through the superstar, and we didn't say yes to him. Terrible. Number 2, Poch said we still need a defender, a midfielder, and a striker in January. 3 players apparently, 3 positions. He's lost his head. He's lost it.
You know what? I'm interested. Just one thing. Next game, whoever you're playing, who are you playing next game?
Sheffield.
Okay.
Is it away or home?
What is your start? Tell me what you want. What do you want?
Really?
What do you want your starting 11 to be formation? Like, what is an ideal way to approach?
I want to 3 at the
back. It's
an
important match.
3 at the back. I want Sanchez in goal, just because if he's ill, put the other geezer in because they're not that great.
Jamal Blackman. No, I'm checking. That's ages ago.
That was like 15 years ago. I want Thiago. I want Disasi, and I want Levi Colwill left centre back. I don't want him in some left back position. I can't be doing that. And then from there, the team builds itself, doesn't it? We've got Casado, Enzo, put Maddison left wing back or whatever, Cucurella, whatever, that stuff. And then the front 3 don't change. Sterling has to be in. Cole Palmer, Jackson.
I don't know if I missed your right back. Is Gusto not injured as well?
Gusto's injured as well, yeah.
So wow.
Fair enough to Cucurella for being our best defender, to be honest, because he's gone from being most hated to the hero of this team, man. That guy.
Not very hard, is it?
And he's injured now as well. So what's our luck? Sanchez is injured. He's injured.
The thing I want to know though as well is that like I think it's all well and good people saying, "Oh, blame the manager, we want the manager out," or blame the players, we want the players out. But I think it's kind of like, imagine like you have a kid and then you let him like run freely loose. He'll probably like break loads of rules if you don't tell him, no, you can't do that. I feel like it starts within the actual internal kind of
Yeah, as
team
I
as
said, it's
well.
the
The internal team
it's
where someone basically says, if you're late for training, that's it, you're not starting. Do you know what I mean? Like set
maturity
proper
issue.
strict rules for the next 6 months or something and say, get your shit together. Otherwise, that's
You
it, you're
can't,
gone.
you can't
Contract
teach.
ripped up.
Like experience is probably the most important thing I've seen
Do
recently.
you see what I mean, though? It's something needs
You
to
need
like drill it into these players to
who
say,
owns
look,
No,
captain
but
the
here,
ball?
Amir,
Chelsea
you
Football Club.
said one thing. You said Colwell made a mistake that's like, not defendable. Then surely we said you guys have a big squad. I know you have injuries. Is it not a kid you can just put in for him? Why does he deserve to play another game? The next game, anyways. Why does he
Which
deserve
kid?
it?
Which kid? He plays left back. We don't have a left. We don't have any other left back.
Just find a kid that's in the academy.
find
Like,
a kid.
surely
Oh,
there
it's
has to
fun.
be some.
pick one out of
Maybe
the crowd.
because maybe these players know they're going to play. Like Colwell makes a mistake that bad, and he knows it doesn't matter. He's going to play again.
Yeah,
How many
that's
more
what I'm saying.
mistakes is he going to have to make to?
There's a strictness that needs to be applied.
I think that's
Yeah.
why, and obviously I know they've got the bigger squad and stuff, but City, for example, like also Pep's very much like, for example, players want to leave or players make mistakes, they've got a big enough squad to rotate or to drop them. And they also know that they're good enough to win the games. But at the minute, I don't think Chelsea are anywhere near good enough to be
We're not
dropping,
good enough at all.
dropping their
And
better
you gotta
players.
you got to look at everything. I mean, coaching, fair enough, and the decision making, yeah, at some points. Like for example, I saw against Everton, Broja is not good enough for Chelsea. Jackson offers more, so Jackson starts from now on. I don't understand why Sterling didn't start. Probably our best attacker this season, bar Cole Palmer, and he doesn't start him and brings him on.
I never
70.
thought I'd hear Jackson offers more in a
He does offer more.
podcast.
100% he offers more than Broja. Conor
And
Gallagher.
what is it that he
He's
offers?
praised Conor Gallagher this season, but the guy takes too many touches. Touch merchant. Doesn't stop touching the ball. Not good enough. Quality wise, he's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't get this whole English speaking. Thiago Silva should be the captain of this team. He's not, it's just a lot of decision making. That's the issue, and it starts from the top, and you work the way out. I'm not pot Chubb because I don't think there's anyone out there we could get. Hansi Flick. No,
Same, I feel the same way.
As Chavez said, Ten Hag, I suppose. In a week.
I saw loads of Jose Mourinho. People say bring back Josephine Mourinho and all that
Oh,
stuff.
that was my question. Yeah,
But the issue
if
is
Jose Mourinho came out
Jose-
with a conference, yeah,
I don't want Jose Mourinho. The issue with Jose Mourinho, if you look at it, when he came back, he needs established players. We got Fabregas, we got Costa in them windows. What's he going to do with a bunch of kids? He's not a project manager, is he? Unless we bring experienced players for him, Mourinho wouldn't work. He'd probably be more hated at Chelsea than what he is now. In my opinion, it don't work. But we look at the top. We look from the top down. We need to change the strategy. Poch needs to. I think he needs to change the formation as well. And this whole relying on Nkunku needs to stop, because if you're just relying on one player to change everything, then that shows the manager's not good enough. Can't rely on one player.
I suppose that. Any more questions?
Another midfielder too, crazy. Another midfielder.
So that leaves us with Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag, Manager of the Month. Harry Maguire, Player of the Month. Garnacho with Manchester United Player of the Month and Goal of the Month. Saturday night for December. Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 3. Chavez, take it away.
that's the curse. You talked about the curse, and we got the curse.
With Daniel
unfortunately.
Drury here, that didn't we?
Yeah, he loved it. He had that
Poetic.
lined up. Yeah, I was going to say, so the first game we played Chelsea, we created the most XG in one half in the Premier League this season, which was great for us. But I don't think that game was too reflective of how our season is going, because Chelsea are not good. So I'm going to admit I got carried away. We're not used to winning and playing well. It was our second good performance. Of course, you get excited. And then we got humbled by a very good team, by the way. Bournemouth's manager's doing really well. They've played really well in the last few games. They're one of the more informed teams in the league. And they were quite good against us. They took their chances. I have to say, I'm actually going to start with a compliment for a player. We're a very inconsistent team. I mean, even me, anyone associated with Man United is inconsistent, because even today, I'm going to have to talk about a win against Chelsea and a loss against Bournemouth. I can't be consistent about what I say. And no player right now is consistent. No team is consistent. Ten Hag is not making consistent decisions. There's one consistency amongst the inconsistencies: Harry Maguire. Regardless of what happens from this point, if he leaves the club, whatever happens, he's put in about 6 great performances in a row now in a team that changes every week, issues everywhere, and he keeps performing. He's played really well. He's a very good defender, and I really hope something comes out of his career and he wins more trophies, because he's generally he's a top professional. No one gave him a chance, including myself, including all of you, everyone across the country. Everyone made him out to be a clown, and he's done brilliantly in the last week. He's been our best player every game. And yeah, I just wanted to start by complimenting him. Never thought I'd be here saying this. Aside from that, Anthony Martial, get out of my club. I really need Martial to leave in January because I don't want Martial to have a testimonial, and it's coming up soon. If he says in the
Is it
summer,
10 years?
losing my words,
10
he's going to be here
years.
10 years. Do you know how shocking that is for a football club to employ a player out of pure fear? We have kept him out of fear that he would leave our club and win the Ballon d'Or with another club.
Has
That's
he-
embarrassing.
Has he
Make
even
the
scored 10
decision, sell
goals?
him.
Right, what happens if he wins the Ballon d'Or?
There's a clause in
No,
the
it's a
contract
fear.
saying-
Everyone was scared by his talent, and each manager was told by the ownership to not sell this player and just to integrate him because they were scared that he would go on and do crazy things with a different club. And now we're here.
That one moment against Liverpool, and that was his first game. And
Yeah, how many goals has he
Yeah.
scored? Has he scored more than 10 league goals in 10 years?
How old
Yeah,
is he?
come
Yeah,
on.
I don't know.
No, yes, Dan, what are you on about?
No,
Dan, you're overdoing
but
it a
I-
bit, bro.
No, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Alright,
remember
Dan.
him having a run of
Yeah.
because the NHS
Dan,
Martial,
NHS
I think.
NHS Martial
Yeah.
scored about 15. Yeah. No, he's had moments, but he's not good enough. He doesn't look like he tried. He doesn't look like he cares. I have to question Ten Hag on why he was started against Everton. Yeah, and another thing about Scott McTominay, sell him, sell everyone. You know, I would actually be glad. There's one condition under which I would be happy for Eric Ten Hag to be sacked. This is my new opinion. If Eric Ten Hag is sacked, I want absolutely every single player at the club to be removed, every single staff member to be removed, and we start again. Because if we really do believe that Ten Hag is going to be the one to take the fall for what's happening right now, let's get rid of them all. Because you can't blame Ten Hag and let him be the first one sacked. It would be an absolute shame if Ten Hag is the one who has to be sacked before and Rashford and Martial play under another manager. How many more managers are these players going to survive under? McTominay's, Luke Shaw. I know Luke Shaw's been okay, but these players don't deserve this. This thing we have of backing the player every time. And by the way, this is me. This is a cry for help because I know what's going to happen. We are going to sack him next week. Bayern Munich are going to do something very unspeakable to us tomorrow. And then Liverpool are going to do something even more unspeakable. It's going to be worse than Man United 0, Liverpool 5, and then the City game versus then Watford. That was nice. People used to say it won't get worse than this. They're going to remember it is going to get worse than that period where Oli got sacked. What's about to happen is going to be disgusting, and you guys are going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. It's going to be a lot of goals, and it's going to be in our net.
And then
the
Ten Hag, Poch
will
will
be
be
sacked.
sacked, and then Ten Hag will join Chelsea.
Have you know,
And I actually, can I be completely honest with you? I think Pochettino will be the next permanent manager of Man United starting next season.
Just a straight
something like
swap.
that.
You want to swap?
I think.
I'll take a swap.
I don't know if it'll be a swap. I think we'll have Steve McLaren or someone from down the road that used to play for Man United.
That guy's he's the
interim.
only England manager to not make. Whatever Graham Taylor did as well, but he didn't make the 2008 Euros with that golden generation. He's a Wally. That
But I think Poch, yes. I mean, I think Poch was always destined for the United job. You know how certain managers, one day they'll manage us. I had a feeling like that about Mourinho as well, and he ended up coming. I think Poch will be a United manager at some point. And hopefully with the new ownership, Poch gets a chance. The whole ownership thing is a debacle. Every week you guys hear from me about it. I say next week it's going to happen. Next week's going to happen. It's not happening until January now. Apparently it gets delayed week in, week out because there's lawyers who can't do their job, because the Glazers want to delay. I don't know what for. I don't know why they want to keep the club any longer. It's nothing good to see. Yeah, I have nothing good to say, except
it's funny actually because it's not funny for you guys, but it's funny because you guys are in the exact same seat I was, I'd say 5-6 years ago, where every kind of game was looking for.
I argue with worse.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. In the same similar seat where we're thinking, is our manager going to be in or out? Our team is shocking. How do we fix the problem? Like we were just stuck. We were in a loop of just like, what do we do here? And eventually, obviously, as you guys are seeing with Arteta, you stuck with him, and then you kind of flush out the old bad wood, and then get some new stuff in under the new Arteta, and it kind of works. But obviously, it doesn't look like that Ten Hag or Poch is going to be able to be given that time, regardless of results. Like people, like it doesn't necessarily come like Rome wasn't built in a day. Do you know what I mean? If you give Poch maybe like a year or two, and then all of a sudden he gets you in top 4 again and gets you Champions League results, then everyone will be like, oh, we knew it. But it's like you have to kind of endure the dip in order to kind of go up. You have to.
What I'm saying is the difference between you and to be fair, Chavez has seen it. You need something for fans to get behind. You had it with the EFL Cup and top 4 last season. You had it when Arteta won the FA Cup.
Won the semi-final.
If Poch, for example, if Poch wins the EFL Cup, then yeah, there is something to go past. The reason why Potter was not given time because there was no progress. There was nothing at all.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with
Getting the
Poch.
fans
If
behind
there is an
something,
EFL
ours
Cup
we
or
lose
something
again.
in the works,
We
if you're
lose
still in
against
it, then
Sheffield United. It's World War Three.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sheffield United's a big game for you.
It's a 6-pointer. It's crazy. And this whole debacle, like we need a centre back, we need a striker. Like I get we need a Thiago Silva replacement, but how much more money do we spend?
Exactly.
How much more is enough? What is enough? I don't want another 16-year-old Washington. I don't want another kid. Can't do this, man. My mental health, I can't do this, bro. Kids, Sanchez and
Yeah, I know. See, this is how I felt back in
It's
the David
terrible.
Luiz Socrates days. Mustafi.
You escaped
Yep.
reality.
Big
You escaped
Chelsea,
reality by watching
big
football, and
Chelsea
now it's the
accounts
other
are
way
now
around.
exactly big Chelsea accounts are now calling for Poch's head.
Crazy.
Crazy. So many decisions. I'm just thinking this isn't pre-season. What I saw in pre-season was a dream. What was that? That was like ages ago now. That was a different team.
Glitch in the Matrix.
We've got Poch's brother now. Who's this? It's
I
not
was
good.
going to ask,
fair-
what are your guys' score predictions for the next two games United are playing?
I
Who?
think
we
you'll
have
beat
bye
by
tomorrow.
I think you'll beat by 1-0.
I reckon you'll beat Bayern 1-0.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah.
It was 5-1
Like-
to Frankfurt. Don't forget that.
No,
I
they're
actually
going to
reckon
come
you'll
back
beat
with
Bayern.
vengeance.
Frankfurt are way better than us.
I reckon you'll
Can
win.
we-
You'll
can
win
we-
against
can we,
Bayern,
like-
but then you'll lose against Liverpool.
Can we call out some Man City fans, bro? I saw some Man City fans on Twitter like proper dissecting their squad and saying Haaland doesn't.
I saw
no,
that.
yeah.
I saw that tweet.
Not involved in the build-up.
Stupid fan.
Guardiola needs to go. I've never seen a fan base so
Pep
like.
out. I've seen it's time for Pep to
It's
go.
embarrassing. It's actually
Fan
embarrassing,
base is
man.
crazy. You just want to
Literally.
treble. Like, chill out, man.
I know. It's so
No
embarrassing,
experience to
man.
win. Like, whenever I see a Man City fan or someone tells me, if I don't know them personally, they're like, "You're a Man City fan." I'll be like, I just laugh at them, man. Like,
All right, walk off.
they're not a Man City fan, man. That's crazy.
I suppose honourable mentions for this week. Chavez, you haven't stopped talking about Fulham scoring 10 goals in
Full of quality.
5 days,
Outstanding.
which is what more than they scored at home in the whole of the 2020-2021 season. I think
How
I saw
often does a
earlier.
team score back-to-back 5-0s as well? That must be some.
City
kind of
done it
Arsenal
record.
last season.
Time's over, but their fans are still somehow, aren't they? Liverpool, another team, and Liverpool won again. So Liverpool
Yeah.
top of the league.
Everton. I
Liverpool-
know. Obviously, we
Liverpool
spoke about.
fixtures. Hold on, because ever they got us and Man United. I know. So
Yeah,
they've got
I think the title decider on Christmas Eve, is it? Or 23rd?
23rd,
Arsenal
23rd.
versus Liverpool. Yeah.
Is that Anfield as well?
Yeah, not the title, but we'll decide which team is serious enough to compete with
we
Man
spoke
City.
about
That's harsh on us. That's Anfield you're talking about. That's a tough place to go.
Yeah, they're still
Hell,
half a
you
season
should
to
have
go.
won at Anfield last year.
Arteta's-
You had it.
We did win at Anfield last year. What are you on about?
No,
Arteta's
you
got-
drew.
Oh no, we drew. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
What is our top 5 managers in the league at the moment? I want us to do that quickly.
I'll take number one.
Are we
No,
doing this
no.
based? Are we doing this based off now, or are we doing
I
this
say
based off
on the
in
season,
like?
who's our-
Still.
based on this season, who's our top 5?
No, he's not.
Should we
Oh, we're
just
based
put
on this
Pep's
season.
top.
If we,
Pep's
but
the
yeah,
top, so.
we but
Emery? Emery's got to be in there for this
Emery.
season.
I'll
Klopp.
take
Wait,
then.
I mean,
If
if it's
Emery
based
there,
off
I'll
of this
take it.
season, no, if it's based off of this season, then Emery's won. He's the best.
Yeah.
Based
Oh,
on
there's-
expectation.
I said
Emery,
top 5 Maybe I need
Deserby,
to rephrase this. Who's just the top 5 managers in the league? You can bring this
Oh,
season.
okay.
top
Pep
5 managers in
as
the league.
well.
Pep.
Pep,
Klopp.
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 Emery could still be in with a shout.
Emery's top 5, 100%.
I think Emery's
Arteta.
third. Who's better than Emery?
No, Emery third. Yeah, but Arteta fourth.
No.
Why?
Who's better than Arteta?
Let me think.
Uh,
Zerbi.
Cooper.
De Zerbi.
Not Cooper. He's gonna get sacked.
Cooper?
Getting sacked soon, isn't he?
He
No, I'll
kept
take
his job for
fourth.
one more week.
Okay, put
Would you
Arteta.
say Sean Dyke?
You know
Shut
what?
up.
No. I
Ten
back-
Hag 12. You've been there.
Do you know Sean Dyche would have been above Chelsea if they didn't have the point deduction?
Yeah, I know.
Also,
only 6 points off.
whilst we're on the topic of managers, I'm just going to chip in my Watford stat this week. A quarter of managers in the Premier League have managed Watford at one point in their career.
Rob Edwards, yeah. Dan, where's Rob
A
Edwards? on your list?
quarter. He's doing all right at Luton, to be fair to him. So
within
he
Arteta,
was never the
Arteta's
problem.
fourth.
yeah,
Arteta fourth.
And who's our fifth then?
Fifth.
De Zerbi still?
Ten Hag.
Shut up.
Ten Hag beats De
Yeah,
Zerbi.
yeah.
if
Okay.
you're basing it off, then yeah.
Or if you want to go Eddie Howe, then
Still put Eddie Howe.
I'll take
Or
those 3 are
Ange, not
interchangeable.
Ange doesn't get a bit of love.
Not from
no,
City,
no, mate.
Fuck Ange. No, mate. No,
Yeah.
mate.
no, mate.
It's crazy.
go play his football.
I'd never thought I'd like a Tottenham manager like Ange. But
Yeah.
Arteta's so much
Don't like
hate.
Ange at all. He's a little gimp.
No, you can't hate Ange, but you can hate Arteta. And I just hate. I don't. It's so moaning.
Because he's so good. That's why you hate him.
Oh, he's good.
He's
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah.
You envy him. You wish you had him in Chelsea. Would you take Arteta at Chelsea Football Club?
No, no.
You're
Yeah, you
lying.
would.
You're,
What are you on about?
lying.
What?
You're lying.
Yeah, you would. If you had the
Why would I
choice
take
now, you would
Arteta?
take
Take him in a
Arteta
heartbeat.
Why
to
would I
save
take a
him.
bottle job manager? Why would I take Arteta?
What would you about? What's Poch doing now for you then?
Huh? If he wins the AFL Cup, we'll see. Let's talk end of
If it
season.
was
Okay.
the FA Cup.
I'm
So you
saying,
take Arteta
I'm
because he's won the
not
FA Cup, which is
I'm
a
not
good trophy
Poch
by your
I'm not Poch out. If I was Poch out, fair enough.
I'm saying you take
Would you,
Arteta.
Amir, would you take Xabi Alonso?
Another project manager.
Yeah.
See, if
I
he
think
takes
Xabi Alonso's a
if he
better
takes
manager
Alonso
than
over
Arteta.
Arteta, it just makes no
Managers that
sense.
come to Chelsea, they all become shit after. Like Potter was a great manager before.
Everyone's
Chelsea.
bad who goes Chelsea.
Chelsea just sucks the life out of everyone, makes everyone crap.
It's true.
Trust me.
Just on the ending part, I think Xabi Alonso will have a better managerial career than Arteta.
Yeah, I
That is your
having
closing
an agenda
statement.
against Arsenal today. Look,
If
look
it's your
at
closing
cheeky little.
statement,
No.
last month has been ridiculous.
He's
You've
been
had
brilliant.
You've had people losing their jobs. To be fair, the only one you've got right is Ten Hag saying he was going to win manager on. But look what that caused. So that is it from us this week. Thank you very much for watching, and until next week, goodbye.